Hi everyone, welcome to channel Qtomation. In previous session, we have seen how to send post request payload via REST assured using different approach. So we have seen how to use hashmap. We have also seen how to use org.json library to send payload in post request. Today we will see one more approach by which we can send post request payload in REST assured, and that is by using external JSON file. So, as the name suggests, external JSON file. That means we can put the payload in different JSON file, and then that file we can use in our code to send the request payload. So we will see practically as well. So this is our same example which we have used in our previous sessions. This is a endpoint of the post request. This is a post request payload, or we can say it is a post request body which we have to send by using rest assured, and this is the response which we will receive. This is same as our last session. So now let's see practically how we can send this payload by using external JSON file. So let's go to Eclipse. So first we have to create one external JSON file in which we can put the payload which we want to send. So right click on the project, select new file. Let's create a new file. So I'm just naming it as create product body.json. So this is a JSON I have created in my project. Now in this JSON file, we have to keep the payload which we want to send. So this is the payload or the request body which we want to send. So I'm just copying this, and let's paste that body in this JSON file. So this is the JSON file which contains a request payload which we want to send in our post request. Now the next step, we have to create a new class. So I'm just creating a new class. Let's name it as, let's give some class name. So what we are saying, so I'm just naming it as post payload external file. So I'm just creating this class. After creating this class, I'm just copying some of the previous session code. So in last session, we have to import some packages. So I'm just using some of those packages. I'm just copying those packages and I'm just putting it here in our new class which we have created. Along with that, I will also copy the test which we have created in our previous session. I'm just pasting that in our class file. So this is a test. In last session, we have used JSON object. So I'm just removing that part. So let's remove this part. Remaining part will remain same. So I will just show you. So this thing will remain as it is. That is not going to change because we are just going to use the different way of sending request payload by using external JSON file. Given, when, and then section, I am just keeping it as it is, like we have seen in our previous sessions. Now, after creating this method, what is the next step which we have to do? We are going to see how to use external JSON file which contains a request payload that we have to send in our post request by using rest assured. So here we have to create, first we should find that file. So in this test, first I should know where is that file. That test should know where is that file which contains that data. That's why I have to use one object of file class. So file fe equals to new file class. So I'm just creating file class object, and in this we have to give the path of that file which we have created, which contains the payload, that is our JSON file. So we have to provide the path of this file. Now you can provide path like this. So you can simply select one, go to properties. This is a overall location of that specific file, but it is absolute location. Instead of that, what we can do, we can also provide relative path dot slash slash. So when you use dot slash slash, it means we are starting from the current project. So in current project, we are just giving relative path. So in my current project, after that I can just directly give the file name, create underscore product underscore body dot json. This is the file name. So we are just simply providing file path. Let's import the package for this. So file class is present in java.io package. So we have to import java.io package. So we have created a file object, file fe equals to new file. In this we have to provide path of that specific file which contains the payload. So first step is done. So we have created file object, we have provided the file path. Now next step is we have to read that file by using file reader class object. So I'm just creating a new file reader class object equal to new file reader. In this we have to pass this file object. Fe object we have to pass. And again we should import the required packages. So be careful while importing the packages, because sometimes same class same class name can be present in multiple packages. So in this case we have to use java.io package. We have to import file reader from java.io package. So we have created file reader object. In this we have to pass this file object which we have created previously. Now after that, what we have to do is we have to create one more object, that is from JSON tokener. JSON tokener object I am creating equals to new JSON tokener, and in this we have to pass this file reader object. So I'm just passing this file reader object to JSON tokener class, and we are creating a new object of JSON tokener. Again we have to import from org.json. So it will read the data and store those data in this JSON tokener object. After this, there is one more step which is pending. So now we have to create a final object from JSON object class, just like our previous session. So we have to create JSON object, let's say product data. So I'm just using this product data which we have created in our previous session as well. So I'm creating one JSON object class object, new JSON object, and in this we have to pass JSON tokener object. So what we have done so far is, let's use throws declaration so that file not found exception will be handled. So Eclipse will automatically suggest you can just use file not found exception. So we have created file object, we have provided the path of that file which contains the payload. Then we have created file reader object. In this we have to pass file object. Then we have used JSON tokener object, in which we have passing file reader object here. And final step, we have to create a JSON object. We have to create a JSON object data, that is product underscore data, which is the object of JSON object class, which will contain our request payload. So it will fetch the request payload from file path which we have provided. And again, if you see in our last session, whenever you are using JSON object, while passing into that body, we have to convert that to string, right? So we have to use dot to string method. So this is the simple code which we have to use for approach when we have to send the data from external JSON file. So what we have done? So this is a request payload which I want to send to this endpoint by using post request. So we have to just copy this payload. We have created a new JSON file in our project. So this is a new JSON file which we have created. Create product body.json. In this external JSON file, we have pasted this payload. After pasting this payload in our external JSON file, we have created a new class. And in this class, we are getting those data from reading that external file. And that we are passing into this given section, and rest of the things will be as it is, as we have already seen in our previous sessions. Post will contain the endpoint, or we can say the URL, and this is basically then section is used for validation. So we will check the status code to be 200. Then we are printing the console response in the console, and then we are validating that name should be this one, and body should contain data.year as 2090. So these are some basic validation which we are using. But our main focus should be this part, how to send payload from external JSON file. Now if you execute this test case, it should successfully pass. So right click, run as test ng test. Let's execute this. So if you see, test case got successfully passed. We are able to print the response in the console as well. So this is how we can use third approach that we have seen, by using external JSON file. So far we have seen three approach by which we can send post request payload in REST assured. First we have seen hashmap, how to use hashmap. Then we have also seen how to use org.json library. And in today's session we have seen how to send request payload in post request by using external JSON file. In next session, we will see one more important topic, that is by using POJO, that is plain old Java object, which is most commonly used. So that we will see in our next session. Thanks for watching this video.